Okay, hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over the RMRs for the upcoming Paris Major. I'm joined by my cat, who will be walking around. Fortunately, we're trying to be a little quiet as it's kind of early in the morning and I've got to get this done before work, so a bit slapdash, but still want to get it out there. Okay, here we go. We'll start off with one of the more simple ones, one that's going to be less impactful over the entirety of the event. It's the BLAST Paris Major for the Asian RMR. Some notable teams, I guess you can say. The Mongols, which were formerly IHC, they just switched back to this branding as that organisation just fell through. Rare Atom, who've also had a bit of a good run. Tyloo, we know them, we love their stickers, but unfortunately this time around I don't think they're going to make it. You can expect probably one of these top three to come through. I would say the Mongols, because they've been on such a heater lately. They've been performing very, very well, so I imagine they'll make it through. And I think, as much as I'd like to put Rare Atom through, they're a bit untested at this level. Some players have been to the major, but I think Greyhound will come through. They almost always do. They will always make it through, and we love to put them as our 0-3 and then lose our shit when they get a magic win. So I imagine you'll see both Greyhound and the Mongols going through. Over in NA, it's a bit more complicated. The spots, you get one legend stage and then 4 challenger stage. The legend stage should go to Liquid, quite straightforward. They've been in good form lately. The players are going good and playing well. It should be enough to get them through the NA RMR, irrespective of the fact that they've managed to lose to Pain in a recent event. Sorry, my cat's enjoying some coals. Pain, I imagine they make it through as well. They're doing half decent. I mean, their recent records have been very respectable. Beating Liquid, beating RMR, beating Liquid again over here, beating Greyhound, who we just spoke about, OG, who are a bit of a weird roster. So a loss to Imperial, sure, it is what it is, but I think this should be enough to get yourself through. Alongside Furia, definitely. Furia again. Tenure gets them there. They're in the semi-final of the last major. You can expect them to make it through to the challenger stage. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated. For me, I think Liquid, Fury, Pain are the obvious ones. I'm going to say Complexity make it through, unless they choke. Thank you, Bjorn. Getting your tail right in my face. That's lovely. Bjorn obviously is also a big Complexity fan, aren't you? Little man, hence why you're trying to insert yourself in this part. And then I think that last spot is going to be a bit more complicated. Evil Geniuses have managed to sneak their way into this event. There's no way they're going to make it. 00 Nations are higher ranked than some of the others in this event, but I don't see them getting through. I think Imperial will make it again. They just seem to have some kind of fear factor when they play in these RMRs. You saw it last year, you saw it the year before when they managed to get an upset win over Cloud9. So I imagine we'll see Imperial going through. So Liquid for that legend stage, Furia, Complexity, Pain and Imperial coming from NA, I imagine. Over in the RMRA, Bjorn just wanted to be here for the NA RMR, get his points in. Big EG fan, that cat. Over in the RMRA, this is where the places get a wider distribution. So, looking over here, as you can see, price distribution. You've got 4 spots for the legend stage, 4 for the challenges, and 3 for that last chance qualifier. So lots of opportunities for teams to make it through. Here's a teams list, and over here I've got FaZe making it through, VP, Mouse, and Na'Vi in the legend spots. So the top 4 that are in that spot. Na'Vi is tenuous. I just don't have any confidence in them. Even with the GOAT simple on their team, they just seem so fragile. The IGLing in this squad is really, really on the edge. I don't enjoy watching a Na'Vi game. They're not as fun as they used to be. This could be a legend stage. I could see them dropping into challenges if they get upset. It's going to be a 50-50, I reckon. They'll make it through. I don't think they're going to crash out. They're not going to do a G2. But there's something in the back of their mind that tells me that Na'Vi aren't a hard pick for this major. Same with VP as well. VP, their style seems to have dropped off a little bit. They don't seem to be as confident. They don't seem to have the same oomph that they used to. But there's still enough in their team. There's still enough there. Up next to Challenger stage, this is where it gets a bit wild because all the teams down from like Mouse Fnatic have a laundry list of just like either problems or you just don't see a lot of them at tier 1. One of those teams is BNE. Every year I fucking bet against them. I swear I never see anything of them. I don't actually seek out to watch them play, but they've made the last like 2-3 majors, so fuck it, they're going to get a challenger spot this time. Why not? History dictates so. Another team, Fnatic. Fnatic will get a challenger spot, I imagine. They've got some issues on their squad. Mezzi is an IGL. He's not terrible. He's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. However, he's one of the better players on his team. And the IGL, that's an issue. That's an issue. He needs some support in there. He needs an IGL or he needs some extra firepower because the players on this lineup, they don't fill you with a sense of confidence that it's going to be able to win out games. Now they do, which is all over. You've got to shout out Mezzi and Kita for that, but there are some problems in that lineup. Challenges is what they should get, but I think after this major, they've got one more run at it. After this, they should be looking to make some changes. Looking at Fascia, yeah, and I'm still not sold on Nikodos. Another team that is one of the teams that just kind of pops up out of nowhere and always seems to just overperform for the major. We mentioned G2 earlier. Well, it was the G2 Slayers Gamer Legion. These guys, again, their recent results dictate that they're in some sort of decent form coming in. They've had some good runs, nothing major, no big events. But this RMR, past those top 4, isn't a big event anymore. Yeah, these are teams that they're at that level where they're ready to beat them. Yeah, I don't see them winning against a FaZe, a Na'Vi, a VP, a Mount. They're going to struggle against a Fnatic. But the rest of the field, yeah, Gamer Legion can do it. They've done it before. I don't see any reason why not. So far, so we've got Fnatic, Gamer Legion, BNE, and then the one you're expecting me to say, of course, the challenges. Falcons. Falcons is getting through. Yeah, either through the challenges or through the last chance. Yeah, the Falcons are going to make it. kennyS is back. They've added body to this lineup, and they've had a fantastic spring. They've got some lovely honeymoon form coming through. Body's been on the roster for a couple of months, but kennyS is back. We're in Paris. Yeah, he's making it through, of course, and I'm getting Falcon stickers. I can't wait. That takes us to the last chance. This is a bit messy. Again, a lot of these teams, they've got issues. Sprout, for instance, I look at the players on that lineup, and I love the look of it. I love the idea of Azza with some of these players. It's just too soon. It's just too soon. They might sneak a last chance, but I think it's one event too soon. Like by the next major, yeah, maybe this is a team that could make a good run through the challenger stage. Like you might even make the second stage of the major with this lineup. I believe in Azza, but not this event, unfortunately. Vipero, British boys. I watched them qualify. I mean, have fun. This is going to be a really great event. But unfortunately, I just don't see you doing damage here. Same with Into the Breach. Like, it's a team that we recognise. Like, they could get into the last chance, but the teams I've got picked here are OG, mainly because they don't have an IGL right now. Like, they've got Dexter, and they've got Flames, and they've got Neofrag, and Fiku. Great, and then you've just got Nico on the lineup. Like, there's talent on this lineup. It's not firing currently, and they don't have a set leader, so last chance qualifier for these guys. I've also put Saw in there. These guys, they almost knocked out Outsiders from the last major. They were like 1 or 2 rounds off knocking them out at the last event. Narrowly missed out. Heartbreak. Like, the guy missed a no-scope, I'm pretty sure. Like, a Story, he was on the AWP, I'm pretty sure. One no-scope, missed the last one. They got the defuse, went to overtime. It was sad. So they're another team kind of like BNE and Game Legion, where they just seem to get through, they muddle through somehow, and this time I think a last chance qualifier spot is for them. They could sneak a challenges in place of Falcons or Gamer Legion. It's like that whole, like I said, the bottom of this RMR is a mess, but I've picked them at B8 as well. They're another team that just, last year they had some upsets. Their recent form dictates that they're half decent, at least within their region. These players all around there. Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. RMRB, this one slightly different on what the spots give you. Legend stage for first, second, third, okay, and then we've got 5 challenger spots, and then the all-important last chances, okay. Top 3, I think as written, G2, Heroic, and Cloud9. G2's not fucking this up. G2's not fucking this up this time. Heroic, they've been great recently. One of the best teams to watch, actually. Like, their Counter Strike has been really, really nice to spectate. I imagine they get through. Cloud9 coming off that loss against FaZe, but hey, they'll bounce back. They're ready. They actually looked pretty shit at the last event that they were just playing. Actually, what was that event called? I watched this. It was fucking terrible. Who were they playing? I completely lied to you. Oh, okay. I watched them play Astralose, and that was really difficult to watch. But actually, recent form dictates that they should be coming in with this in a decent position. So wins against Falcons, Godsent and Falls, and Falls are on a heater at the moment, which we're about to go into. But this Astralose game, this was disgusting. Evidently, I should have watched more because they've managed to win out. But whew, as long as Nafny doesn't have a brain fart on the level, and the individual form from Shiro and Axel in that final game versus Astralose was terrible. But I imagine in this stage they'll be okay. Up next in the challenger spot. This one, I'm going to give the first spot to Falls. Falls have been really, really good lately, and they are also RMR monsters. So, congratulations, you're going to get yourself a challenger spot. I'm also giving spots to Nip and Ents. Ents have added Nerds to their lineup. Good replacement again. It's a newer lineup, but they had a newer lineup last time they came to an RMR. I managed to get a challenger. Actually, they 3-0'd this stage and went straight through the Legends with Valde in the roster. So with Nerds, I don't think they can do it again. Like I said, the caliber of opponents that they're up against are just too high, but they're playing decent. Nerds of that sick 1 versus 4 was against Vitality. So hey, I think that's to make it through a lot easier than previous RMRs perhaps. So we've got Falls, we've got Ents, I said NIP as well. They're on the rise. Hedrick is not settled yet, but I think they can get through this stage. I don't have faith that they're going to make it further. I don't see a top 8 for this roster. This looks like a 3-1 roster. Sorry, 1-3 roster in the next stage, or Legend stage. But I think they've got enough to make it through. The next spots I'm going to give to Vitality. They are inherently flawed with the pre. I don't have confidence in them, but it's Paris. I just think the French players are going to be on another level. This should get them through. It should be enough to bolster them. Zaiwu knows that his legacy is at stake now. He has 2 majors left to stamp his name on CSGO. So, Vitality. And I'm going to pick as well Eternal Fire. Eternal Fire are another team who have just been like a good string of results, picking up speed, coming into this event. They normally make a meal of it when they come to these RMRs, but I can see that I have more faith in them than some of the other teams that I've superseded. And those teams actually, the 3 teams that come above them in ranking, Astralose, Spirit, and Big, are who I'm going to be choosing for my last chance qualifiers. Astralose actually are playing okay. They beat Cloud9, but I think it was less of Astralose beating Cloud9 and Cloud9 losing to Astralose. Like I said, Nafny's calls on the own overpass looked trash, looked fucking terrible. Axel and Shiro, they dropped off in that game. They picked it up in the others, cool, fantastic. Against the OG, I did see some of that. Also on overpass, I believe. They picked it back up in that match, but Astralose, I lack confidence, and when it comes to big pressure matches, they haven't shown that they've got it with this lineup. They seem to be able to do alright in the small qualifiers for events and like the early stages, but they haven't shown they can go deep. And you're playing against lots of opponents here who are willing to go deep in this event. I think you look at G2, Heroic, Cloud9, Force, Ents and Vitality believe as well, but I don't think they can all go deep in this event. So a last chance qualifier for them. Same with Spirit. Spirit just have been a bit meh. Patsy and Wonderful just haven't been as sick as when they first came on the scene. So we'll see. Spirit is another team that just shows me that they haven't got what it takes to go deep. So, yep. And big, they always get through these fucking events. I think I said they were going to go out during every stage of the last major, almost every stage, and they made it through all of them. And then when I backed them to make it to the legend stage, they failed. So big will make it to a last chance. So in the last chance spots, then I have OG, B8, Saul, Big, and Spirit and Astralose. Somehow, I don't know how they're going to match up, but I have to choose 3 teams out of that lot to come out. Looking at my notes here, it will all come down to who matched up against who. I think Astralose could beat all 3 of those teams. They might struggle against a B8 because they've got like some explosive firepower, but I actually think the EU RMRB have the better teams that will end up in the last chance. If it's like any of these teams, like the 9s, 500s, Iron Nations, like these guys are decent, but against like the lower level, the mid level of UA, I don't think they can make it through. So I imagine actually like whoever comes from EUB RMR in the last chance will probably make it through, unless there is some like drastic drop downs, like a Fnatic lands in the last chance. Unless there's some dramatic drop downs, like Fnatic lands in the last chance, I imagine that the EU RMRB teams will be the ones that will make out the last chance qualifier. But hey, only time will tell. And my time is up on this. Thank you very much if you made it towards the end. This is how I feel about the RMRs. I'm very much looking forward to it. I will do a review before the next stage finishes of how the RMRs went and where my predictions landed. I think I'll be putting my camera on for more of them. I've put my name to this channel. I should probably put my face to it. That's how I feel. And I do say some mad shit about players. So, hey, here's the face to get angry at if you disagree. Regardless, I need to cut this together. I've got work in a bit. So thank you very much. Do me a favour. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. That helps me out a ton. And have a good day.